Meghan and Harry, or M&H as they prefer to be called. They posted a video of them twerking moments before Meghan gave birth to their daughter Lilibet. The video is being dubbed the most controversial royal twerking incident since Prince Andrew was told that Pizza Express in Woking couldn't be an alibi.
And just like that, the internet exploded. Meghan Markle's latest move has left folks gobsmacked, and not in a good way. After that now viral clip of her twerking to try and induce labor hit the web, backlash came fast and fierce. Socials lit up with criticism, and it's clear people aren't buying the just a bit of fun excuse. From whispers of attention-seeking to full-on accusations of tarnishing the royal image, again, Meghan's facing the heat like never before. And trust, this wasn't some harmless little dance moment. For many, it was the final straw. So Meghan Markle has somehow managed to land herself back in the headlines. And not for anything decent, mind you. You would think after all the fuss over her royal flounce, the podcast flop, and that Netflix issue, she would keep her head down for a bit. But nah, Meg's decided this was the perfect moment to pop back up with a video absolutely no one asked for. And what a clanger it was. Now I'm sure most of you have clocked the clip I'm talking about. But if not, do yourself a favor and go have a gander. So here's the gist. She chucks up this random old video on Insta, her doing a bit of a bop to some old school rap while she was up the duff, apparently from 4 years ago. No caption, no context, just Meghan having a go at some fun mum vibes.
When the song come on, let me see you get gone. Baby mama, this your song, been pregnant for way too long. I tell the DJ, turn it off.
If she a baby mama,
Go ahead.
she gon' do that baby mama.
Work.
She gon' put it on.
Bit awkward, to be honest. You could tell she really wanted this to be one of those look how cool and carefree I am moments. Bit of edge, bit of sass, something to give the tabloids a nicer headline. Instead, it just turned into a proper car crash. Oh, and Harry's in the video too. Well, kind of. You can spot him, but he's clearly doing everything in his power to avoid showing his face. Which, let's be honest, just makes the whole thing look even more dodgy. A lot of people are watching this and going, is that bump even real, or has she stuffed a pillow under there for a bit of theater? Look, I'm not saying that's what happened, but let's just say it wouldn't be the wildest plot twist. However, the internet, as you would expect, had a field day. Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, even Facebook aunties got in on it, but not in a Yas Queen kind of way. More like, what on earth is this?
She gon' put it on you. She gon' do that baby mama. She gon' put it on you. She gon' do that baby mama.
Within hours, the memes were flying. People were taking the mick left, right, and center. Pure cringe fest. But here's where it really kicks off. See, Meghan still has that big, shiny deal with Netflix, right? The one where she's meant to be this thoughtful voice on parenting, identity, healing, all that deep stuff. After posting the video, Meghan posted footage of the 2-day trip to Disneyland to celebrate Lilibet's 4th birthday. The Sussex enjoyed rides including Space Mountain, Dumbo, and Cars Land. There was also a Little Mermaid birthday cake for Lilibet. The Instagram post also featured Meghan, Harry, Lilibet, and Archie, all sporting Mickey Mouse ears and joining in with Disney fun. The family enjoyed several attractions, including the newly updated Splash Mountain, now known as Tiana's Bayou Adventure since 2024. They also stopped to meet Star Wars stormtroopers, and in one snap, Harry also flashes a cheerful smile in another photo as he turns towards the camera while sitting next to Lilibet on another ride. Another picture was taken to show a pile of corn dogs and food on a table, showing that the family ate classic amusement park treats during their special visit. The visit comes as Meghan is preparing a second drop of her products to be sold on her brand website. Fans are awaiting news of new items as Meghan starts to share a series of teaser photos on her brand Instagram page for As Ever. So when she drops a clip of herself having a wiggle to hip-hop while pregnant, with zero explanation, it didn't exactly scream inspirational docuseries. Word is, Netflix execs were livid. Greg Peters especially, who had apparently been giving her loads of leeway before, wasn't having it. Not just a bad look, but a straight-up liability. Because here's the thing. Meghan's not just Meghan anymore. She's Meghan, the brand. And when you are under contract with a major platform, what you chuck online isn't just a harmless bit of fun, it reflects on them. So they pulled the emergency cord. Emails flying, phones ringing off the hook, and before tea time she was told, plain and simple, take it down. And what did Meg do? She flat out refused. Said it was her expression, her way of clapping back at years of mockery and all that, called it a reclaiming moment or something like that. But it wasn't a good look. Posting something daft is one thing. Doubling down and squaring up to the studio footing your bill? That's another matter entirely. Netflix weren't amused. Rumor is they told her straight. This was strike 3. One more misstep, and not only would they bin any future plans, but they would start pulling back now. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. Just like that, her whole social media push for With Love, Meghan got canceled. They basically pretended the show didn't exist. And it gets messier. She's apparently been booted from the editing room too. Wanted to be hands-on, shape the message, add her special Meghan sparkle. However, Netflix are now keeping her well away, trying to quietly patch things up behind the scenes without stirring up more drama. Meanwhile, Meghan's fuming, shouting matches with execs, most notably with Peters, trying to justify the post and throw around the old creative freedom card. But the damage is done. Even the Netflix suits who were championing her from the get-go are backing away. The loyal little circle she thought had her back are also disappearing fast. All over one dodgy clip that she thought would come across as powerful or quirky, but instead just looked totally tone-deaf. And Netflix? They are still shocked. It's not just about bad PR, they are worried the whole deal's turning sour. Remember, her contract wasn't exactly a bargain bin investment. They spent ages bigging her up as this wise, evolved version of Meghan 2.0, post-palace, post-drama, ready to speak her truth. But all of that's been properly nuked thanks to one out-of-touch dance vid. Behind closed doors, it's chaos. Allegedly, Greg Peters isn't the only one fuming. Other top brass, even the ones who pushed to bring her in, are starting to whisper that she is more trouble than she's worth. One exec allegedly said straight up that she's becoming more of a liability than an asset. That's the sort of chat that spreads fast in corporate corridors. Even Ted Sarandos, who's usually as neutral, has been dragged into the mess. Meghan's been trying to get him on side, pull in a bit of influence to stop the whole thing from spiraling. But even he's gone quiet. Damage control's in full swing, and no amount of royal sparkle is going to smooth this over right now. So what's the takeaway? Netflix has tightened the leash. Quietly, of course. No big press releases or drama, but behind the scenes, emails drying up, meetings canceled, her input being politely pushed aside. Meghan's PR machine is sputtering, and unless she pulls a serious power move soon, one that actually lands, she might just be watching her whole media empire crumble all over one video. Moreover, any whispers about future projects with Meg or Has also got binned. The PR lot were told to keep Meghan's name out of the spotlight, like properly tucked away. Once upon a time, having her attached to a campaign was gold dust. Now it's like walking around with a lit firework in your pocket. And it wasn't just Netflix doing the moonwalk backwards. The whole industry clocked it. Word travels faster in Hollywood than a bad fake tan, and soon enough, one talent agency even sent round a memo basically saying, "Steer clear, too much drama attached." Meanwhile, Meg wasn't exactly taking it on the chin. Word on the grapevine is she's been having a proper moan behind the scenes, raging about how she's being stitched up. She reckons that little Instagram dance vid was all harmless fun, her just vibing, being carefree, but she can't quite get her head around why it blew up in her face. To her, it's joy and freedom. To the suits, it's bad optics, plain and simple. Thing is, when you are on the payroll of a global juggernaut like Netflix, your authentic self doesn't always fly. There is money on the line, brand deals, boardrooms full of very serious people in blazers. She might feel she's being real, but they are just seeing red. Even her die-hard stands, the online ride or dies, are starting to run off. You've got folks on fan pages muttering things like, "Love her, but that wasn't it." To make it worse, the video's gone viral in the worst possible way. It's been remixed, memed, slowed down, auto-tuned, basically turned into internet fodder. Every repost chips away at her image. She wanted to control the narrative, but now the narrative's doing its own thing and leaving her behind. And all this kicks off just as with Love, Meghan edges closer to release. Trouble is, Netflix ain't exactly rolling out the red carpet. People behind the scenes are saying the vibe feels like they are trying to bury it quietly. Launch it one random weekday and hope no one notices. Allegedly, one poor sot on the team even joked, "We should have just done a TikTok dance video and saved ourselves the headache." Apparently, some of the crew feel mugged off. They had worked for months polishing up Meghan's public image. Classy, empowering, the whole bit, only for a 30-second boogie to derail everything. And nope, she is not taking it down. Says she won't be silenced or bullied no matter what Netflix has to say. But her bargaining power is shrinking by the day. The deals, the buzz, the clout, all starting to slip through her fingers. And it wasn't just a Hollywood mess. This thing went global. Every talk show, gossip site, and keyboard warrior had something to say. Some tried to spin it as quirky or misunderstood, but most called it what it was: a royal PR nosedive. The clip became more than just a dodgy video. It turned into a symbol of what happens when personal branding clashes with big money. Technically, Meghan was still under contract with Netflix, but in reality, she was flying solo with no seatbelt, no co-pilot, but vibes only. Studios hate that. They want reliable, predictable. Meghan was neither. Legal teams on both sides started sniffing around. Not full-blown lawsuits, but murmurs about breaking image guidelines and pushing the promo rulebook too far. They are trying to split without making it a headline war. Over in Meghan's camp, they were scrambling to spin it into a win. Talk of going independent, starting her own media venture, freed from corporate chains and all that. But that's just noise unless someone ponies up the cash, and the money crowd don't like messy. Netflix, meanwhile, went full cleanup mode. Posters quietly disappeared, early previews got delayed. Staffers were jokingly calling it the Meghan mess on Slack. And yeah, that nickname stuck. Execs just wanted to move on and make sure no one thought they were standing behind her latest antics. And here's the sad bit. Meghan didn't just lose Netflix, she lost the room. Her usual celeb mates went quiet. As for the PR teams, they are keeping their distance. Even the hardcore defenders started ghosting. A few offered gentle advice. Take a breather, regroup, rethink. But Meghan dug in, talking about staying true to her voice, being misunderstood. Classic defiance. There were even rumors of a bold, unfiltered new project. But no one knew what that meant or who would actually bankroll it. Eventually, the internet did what it always does. Got bored, moved on. But the dent in her rep was completely stuck. She wasn't the bright new media darling anymore. She was proof that being loud and visible doesn't mean you are in control. With Love, Meghan landed on Netflix like a forgotten email, and the reviews were, well, not kind. Critics called it scattered and a bit self-indulgent. Audiences didn't bite. Meanwhile, Meghan tried to salvage things with some cryptic quotes about healing and growth, but the likes and comments weren't what they used to be. The world had moved on, and this time, it didn't look back. In the end, Meghan got attention, loads of it. But not the sort that wins Emmys or sells books. It was the kind that trends, fizzles, and fades. And for someone who once made headlines with every breath, that kind of silence might sting the most. Because fame isn't just about being seen, it's about being taken seriously. And that ship might have just sailed. Apparently, she's planning to use the show to dish out lectures on motherhood, fatherhood, and all things parenting. It's her way of clapping back at the critics, many of whom reckon she's a bit pants at taking any kind of criticism whatsoever. Honestly, it's textbook narcissistic behavior. Just like the moment anyone says boo, she's straight on Instagram acting like the world's against her. And let's not forget the backlash from that infamous hospital boogie video hasn't just been from the public. Word on the street is Netflix's brass weren't too pleased either. Seems like she's biting the hand that feeds her. Now, she's issued a bit of a statement in response to all this drama where she claimed she was just trying to express herself. She then went on to say her whole brand with Netflix shows, podcasts, the lot, is built around showing the world what it really means to be a proper parent. She reckons she's got the wisdom and the stage to share it, whether we want to hear it or not. According to her, she is basically on a mission now. Which, fair play, but most people are still stuck back at the whole baby bump or cushion debate. And this is where things start to get properly mental. See, no one's really buying that the clip is 4 years old. The bump looks a bit sus, Harry's pulling a full-face blackout, and people are now even asking what track was playing in the background, trying to date it like it's an artifact. If you knew when that tune dropped, you would probably have a better clue whether this was shot in 2021 or last Tuesday. But the core issue here is this. Meghan's now in full defense mode. She is lashing out, trying to reframe everything as a lesson in parenting, when most people watching the circus just want her to chill out. Like, honestly, who actually wants to be parent-shamed by Meghan Markle through a podcast? So yeah, between the shady video, the performative statements, and this "I'll teach the world how to raise children" energy she's putting out, things are looking pretty rocky for Meg. And like it or not, it's all kicking off in public. At this point, she's clearly bending over backwards to keep up this polished image, as a mom, an actress, and this sort of all-round showbiz darling. But let's be honest, it's all a bit tragic. Proper desperate, really. She's clinging to this facade. Meanwhile, everyone knows Netflix has taken a bit of a nosedive in the rep department lately. No surprise they are scrambling to fix things behind closed doors. Loads going on backstage, especially right after that video of hers blew up online. Now get this. After Netflix actually told her to bin the video, she went on this long-winded rant too, proper soapbox moment, saying stuff like, "Facing my critics is hard but necessary," and banging on about society being full of flaws that need fixing. Bit dramatic, if you ask me. Then she drops the whole "I won't stay silent" line like she is leading some kind of revolution. Said she will keep speaking her truth, that no one's going to stop her, and that expressing herself gives her a sense of, self. She said self about 5 times. It was turning into a bit of a buzzword by the end. Anyway, she wrapped it up by saying she will keep doing her thing, whether it's online or behind closed doors. Fair enough, freedom of expression and all that, but context, love, timing's everything, and this just isn't it. It's obvious someone's hit a nerve with Meghan Markle. She is clearly rattled, getting snappy, getting defensive, and really starting to sound bitter. The public's not having it either. No one's falling for the whole "poor me" routine, and that video, it's not landing. People aren't laughing, they are cringing. The vibe is more yikes than yes, queen, if you get me. Worse still, it's making Netflix look properly shoddy. Some folks are even saying they should scrap season 2 of With Love, Meghan altogether. Just pull the plug already. She is tanking their image, and refusing to take the video down isn't helping one bit. Netflix gave her the nudge, she ignored it, and now they have got a PR mess on their hands. Behind the scenes, it's chaos apparently. Bit of a tug of war going on between Ted Sarandos and Greg Peters. Proper boardroom bickering, all over this viral storm that's blown up on X, Insta, Facebook. It's everywhere. No getting around it. So yeah, that's where we are at. We'll keep an eye on the fallout, and if anything else kicks off, you will hear it here first. But what do you lot think about Meghan's viral video, her pregnancy PR tactics, and the whole drama around season 2's delays and reshoots? Let me know down in the comment section.